Good morning, community. I hope this day finds you feeling inspired because if it doesn't, you're about to. I have the pleasure of sitting down with one of the amazing women who have taken flight with us this year. I like to call her Nancy Encourages because that's the energy she puts out into the world. But I'm bringing you live Nancy Gonzalez. Now, Nancy is doing a lot of stuff. So stay with me because this is a journey you want to take part in. She's a talk show host, she's an author, she's a speaker, she's a change agent, and she's helping other people transform lives and communities. In 10 minutes or less, knock on wood, we're going to tell you how she's doing it. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Nancy, I just briefly encapsulated some of the things that you do, but more importantly, why? Why do you do what you do?
Well, I have a huge passion for helping women just to be better human beings. And the reason that I do that is because I've been through a lot of stuff myself, like we all have. And I feel like I've come out better on the other side. And I've been able to take those experiences, create a community where I can help other women and in their own communities and even nationwide to help them become better people, people that have gone through difficult things, that I'm able to encourage them to take that next step to whatever it is that they want to do.
I think that's so amazing. And, we talk a lot when we're talking about leadership about servant leadership. And that seems to be just a theme in everything that you do, which I think is wonderful. And you're generous. If somebody, like, I love a party favor. My best friend and I joke all the time, like, it's like Clinique bonus time whenever you get something
Yeah.
special. If people visit your website, nancyencourages.com, there's a party favor there. Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
Yes, there is. If you visit nancyencourages.com, you're going to be able to sign up for a sheet that's going to give you 5 techniques to help you become better instead of bitter. Because sometimes when we're going through things, it's so easy to be upset and to be angry and carry all of this baggage. It's just so heavy. But if we can get rid of that, unpack those bags, and find ways to become a better person, not only are you doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for other women that are around you, for members of your community, even your family members. And it just makes you feel so much better. And I myself have learned that when I got rid of that bitterness, and let me tell you, I had some, it just made my life just so much better. I feel so much lighter. So I figured, why not share that with the community out there, with other women that want to do that. So visit nancyencourages.com and just sign up for it. And while you're there, you'll be able to see all of the other things that I do.
Which brings me to another point, which again, I hope everybody is quickly visiting there because when you have somebody who has the caliber of experience and talent that Nancy has, to get a gift like that, it's priceless. So make sure you get it, share it with people you care about, and share her website. But I want to talk a little bit more because everything you seem to do comes from, again, a place of servant leadership. It's very passion driven. And I know that you've created your own philanthropy. Can we talk about that for a moment?
We sure can. And I'd love to talk about it. I could sit here all day and talk about it. I created a nonprofit, founded a nonprofit organization that empowers survivors of domestic violence. The reason that I created that nonprofit is because I am a survivor of domestic violence. And I wanted to take my experience and turn it into something good. Because, like I said before, from that kind of experience, you do have a lot of resentment, a lot of anger, a lot of rage, and that was getting me nowhere. And I decided to take my experience of what I went through and try to help other people. I founded it 5 years ago, and I've been able to help hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women from it. I've been on the news about it. I was in Women's Day magazine in 2019, and I've done a lot of marketing around it. And I've been so blessed to be able to help women go on to that next step. Because once you get out of that experience of domestic violence, now what? That's where they need the help. Now, I have helped several women create exit plans so that they can leave safely. But once they do that, that's when they need all the love and support that they could possibly get. And that's where my nonprofit kicks in. It's called Mustard Seed Bags of Courage. And the premise is that we just simply give out bags filled with toiletries that they will need after they leave their abuser, because that is the number one thing that people forget to pack. And there's no funding for it. You can get funding for your clothes, for your food, for shelter, but you can't get funding for toiletries. And receiving one of our bags, and they're usually in makeup bags or really pretty purses, that already makes you feel good and makes you feel confident, you're feeling a little bit more independent. And now you're taking care of yourself. And that's the first thing that you need to do once you leave that situation. Because once you feel like you can take care of yourself, you got that little independence going, man, you can conquer the world. And then my goal is to kind of help them see what it is that they want to do next. I try to do everything in my power so that they do not return to that abuser, because once they do, that cycle starts all over again.
It's so hard. It's so hard. I actually have 5 bags in my car and probably more around my house that will soon belong to you. And because I used to travel the country up to 150 days a year, lecturing and working on violence prevention and community building, I always took all the toiletries with me. So I literally probably have several hundred pieces of toiletries that you will soon be the adopter of. And
Awesome.
you will also be helping my marriage because my husband will be happy to see some of the surplus items in our home go to not only go to good, but go out of our not so abundant
So it's
storage
a
space.
win-win.
Yes. Again, giving is good. Giving is good.
Oh yeah,
Now,
it
you've
is.
learned a lot through this work, not just from your personal perspective, but how to help others. I think
Mhm.
2020 has really fed that. What have you taken from 2020 to help pay it forward?
Well, 2020 was rough for all of us. And I think it took an opportunity for people to kind of step back and realize, okay, what can I do to make a difference in our world? And a
Mhm.
lot of people have been contacting me that they have created their own nonprofits or maybe are thinking about making their own nonprofits. So now I've been coaching several people that are interested in either starting a nonprofit or creating one, in the sense of building it further with marketing and networking and stuff. So that's what I do. I help them and I coach them along with that. And it could be from, hey, Nancy, I have this idea. What do you think? And we can explore it, figure out what their mission is, and figure out how can we bring that mission statement to life. Then I also work with people that have their nonprofits and they say, look, it's going nowhere. Can you help me out and figure out? One of my strengths is marketing, and I think that I'm good at it. I'm very, very creative, and I think outside the box. So that's what I kind of help people do. We come up with different ways that they can get donations or even just get their name out there. And it has been just so much fun to see that. And one of my goals for 2021 is to create partnerships with all of these nonprofits, because when it comes down to it, the more resources you have in your pocket, no matter what field you're in, the better you are to help other people. So I would love to create something where I can eventually have all of these nonprofits just kind of help each other out. We can all support each other, because there might be a nonprofit for somebody that you know that could help, whether it be something personally or with a pet or anything like that. So it's been really, really fun to go on this new ride of helping other people, because like I said, it's just something I'm so passionate about. I just absolutely love, love, love helping people and watching them grow.
Oh, that's so exciting. And I can't say it enough. We are all so much stronger together. We need
Mhm.
bigger tables and more voices. And that's what you're building and creating. And I think it's beautiful. And that's one of the reasons I'm so proud you're a part of our community.
Thank you.
Um, Now, I know people are dying for me to stop talking because they want to rush to visit nancyencourages.com. They want to download the incredible resource, and they may be reaching out to you, whether they want to support your philanthropy or need your brilliance to help lift theirs up to the next level. But before we go, you also not only are a published author, which we will definitely make sure people can see these really powerful books that you've written to help people, but you also are like our own local Oprah, and you have your own talk show. How did that happen? Do you love it? I will put a link to it. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was just something that I decided to do in 2020, just something to bring some positive light into everything that we were going through in just our crazy world. And the name of the show is called Seeds of Encouragement. And what I do is I encourage guests from all walks of life, doesn't have to be a professional speaker or anything like that, from all walks of life, just to come on. They share their seed of encouragement. It could be a positive quote, it could be a Bible verse, it could be something that has impacted their life, whatever it may be. And then we just have an organic conversation about what that seed does. How can that person use that seed and make them grow? And it has been the most awesome experience, I know, at least for myself and hopefully for my guests as well. And it's been so well received because they're just maybe 10-15 minute videos that it just gives you a little bit of empowerment. And when I started getting messages from people that said, "Oh, I needed that today. Thank you." Or, "I'm going to share this with my girlfriend because I think she needs to hear this today," I realized, I'm just going to continue doing it. So I post about once a week on there on YouTube. And I invite other people just to watch it simply because it might help you, because that's what it's all about. We just need to be constantly empowering each other. One of my quotes that I use all the time is empowered women empower women. And it's so important for us to help each other out in any possible way that we can, because you just never know what someone's going through. And as women, we carry these shields and we carry these masks that always show that we're just really happy, but we might just be going through some just really hard stuff. That's where I try to help and make them feel a little bit better and kind of see what I can do to get them to that next point for growth in their life.
And I have to say, I love that you repeatedly, and again, it's good marketing, which you've already shared is one of your gifts. I love that you keep going back to a seed, because a seed alone cannot flourish.
Mm-hmm.
A seed requires, nurture and support, and whether it's and grounding,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think it's just so, and I'm sure it's no accident, but metaphorically of that each one of us has such great potential, but sometimes we just need a little bit of water, a little bit of
Yep.
warmth, a little bit of safety. And I love that you're providing that. Um, Before we go out big. I hope this is good as your incredible show, Seeds of Encouragement, on YouTube. Make sure you watch. Um, what's something about you that people are surprised to learn?
Mm, Mucha gente no sabe que yo hablo español. Yo lo puedo leer, lo puedo escribir, lo puedo hablar, y mucha gente no sabe que yo hablo español.
Okay, well, my son speaks Spanish fluently, but I do not. So tell me what you just shared with me.
Well, a lot of people, as crazy as it sounds, never believe that I'm Hispanic. Now, once they see my last name, Gonzalez, that gives it away. I always get told I look Italian, that I look Greek. Never, ever do people tell me that I look Hispanic. And then I do that. I speak a little bit of Spanish. And what I said was, people don't understand that I speak Spanish. I'm fluent in Spanish. And it always kind of freaks them out because they're like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize you look Spanish. You look Italian, you look Greek." So it's just kind of like a silly little fun thing. It also has
Sure.
its advantages because I've caught many people talking about me in Spanish, whether positive or negative, and I'm able to kind of answer them back in Spanish. And I love seeing their faces of, oh, I didn't know you spoke Spanish.
Perhaps we should maybe take a moment and plant the seed of kindness within if it was not a good choice. So there, Nancy's doing it all. Um, you are a treasure. I am so excited about all the resources you have to offer the community. And I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful for women like you who say, I, you believed in yourself and you know what you're capable of, and you ain't even done yet. You got a long way to
Mm-mm.
go because your greatness has just started. And that also reminds me, for any of our Hispanic members or community members who want help with their nonprofits, and gosh, in this region, we need that desperately. She's also bilingual. I mean, is there anything Nancy doesn't do? I don't know. Let's find out. Support Nancy, get to know Nancy. And again, thank you, Nancy. We appreciate you and we value greatly what you're doing here and around the world.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I love what you're doing. And I love that you're sharing all of these different stories with women. I know I've already made several friends just from the ones that you've posted. So I'm grateful for you.
And that's the way it's done, folks.
Mhm.
Mwah! Until next time.